think you all should get really good at wrapping your rod line around your rods and go bloody slow motion. I can't tell you one's too fast for me, and I'm a bloody casting instructor. Really slow motion and use words coming from the side and climbing, still climbing, still climbing, still climbing, now climbing and turning, climbing and turning. If I stopped at this point, the fling would be up, you know, like I think it's really important to mention that. It's not a downward fling, you know. If you stop here, the fling will still be up. If you stop in your back cast and watch, that clouse will flip up in the air, you know. I would use speed too, you know, getting faster, getting faster, getting faster. I would actually grab the tip of my rod and say, during this circular climbing and circling, you should be able to constantly feel the thing trying to get away. You know, like a skier on a ski boat, sort of skiing through a corner. If you can't feel that getting away, you've got it wrong, you know. So I would associate words with very slow motion, and, you know, I do it a bit differently to you. But I'd love to see just the three of us just do it, and just you guys take out of it whatever you want, you know.
Well, I actually use a lot of hands-on with this one.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people struggle with this because we've been learning this all day. This movement here, they struggle with. So I do a lot of hands-on, you know.
So they've got the rod.
They've got the rod, and I put my hand on it.
Straight away, and it's not.
Swing it through like this. Okay, so I talk about a tip part that's an egg shape. I explain we come up at the back, and then we slow down. The slow down is very important. That's why I asked the question about speed. Why do we slow down? Because we've got to give that line time to straighten out, to maintain the tension. If we just come straight around, we really are, if we've got 40 feet of line, we're just doing circles. And we can't do circles with 40 feet of line. So the speed is not constant. The tension is constant, but the speed is not constant. Lift, to get some line off the water. Lift, circle low, swing high, and come over the top. And that's the way I talk about it. But I do use a lot of hands-on. Okay? Path with the tip of the rod. Okay, so we start here. The lift. This climb is fairly pronounced. Accelerate over the top. Slow down. And there is a little throw at the front here. A little snap at the front. There. Okay, so that's how I teach it.
I reckon this hands-on is a good way to teach a lot of stuff, and Joan Wolfe will tell you it's one of the best things.
And particularly this cast, because the actual tip part is suddenly unfamiliar. You know, we've been doing this all day, and suddenly we've got to change things. This is why not getting locked into one thing is so important. Playing with the rod, doing crazy shit with it, doing helicopters. Or what's his name? Floyd Frank calls it the Christmas tree. He does a Christmas tree like this, and he's got the fly line spiralling around his body. Play with it. So that's how I teach it.
Hey, Tony, how would you like to have a go?
Not much different. Much different or not much? Not much different.
Yeah. Just a couple of points that appeal to me though is one mentioned that he feels he gets
Sorry, yeah, loud.
sorry, he feels he gets more tension if he doesn't put the rod out here but brings it in here.
More vertical.
Yeah. For me that if I draw a curve, I come round to here and then I try and go back here. So this
Sorry,
would
Tony,
use-
I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. If
We'll
I
make you shout.
come closer.
Yeah.
If I go around there and then I come back here, I've got a bit of dome in it. And I've wrapped a little loop of slack in there. I reckon that folding back on itself introduces, you lose a bit of tension. I don't want to lose that, so I want to form a curve out around, I want to pull in against it. More tension. Curves out there, I've thrown it out there, all this heavy stuff's out there, and now I'm pulling in against it. So I don't want to track out there, I want to track in here. It seems counterintuitive. We've got heavy stuff, pull it in, but that works for me. In terms of accelerating and decelerating, Peter did a little helicopter. do you turn that into an oval?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Very good.
and you have to have a loop. As Peter says, you can't have a cartwheel, so you have to. When you accelerate, it'll fall.
That's brilliant.
Pause
Right?
is a slow down.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a stop.
It's a stop of the acceleration for me.
Yeah.
Stop is not a stop is
Yeah.
Peter. Knows how the proper guy.
No, well, I don't know.
Yes,
I read it
yes,
somewhere
yes,
a long
that's
time
good.
ago. And maybe, do you know, I was just thinking, maybe I didn't read it. Maybe Tom White told me, you know. I got a vague feeling of that. But anyway,
I read a bit about it. It's like all other casts.
yeah.
Belgian cast is somebody's idea of
Yeah.
what some bloke said to him about some bloke who told him something.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, it's start low and it's absolutely lifting from the side. You know, we're not trying to lift vertical. This is lifting from the side, but I'm going to put my rod here and say it's an incline too. You know, so I'm going to show you my rod, my yellow rod and my white rod, and say this is an inclining tip path. And you know, I'm somewhat surprised I didn't hear that yet from you guys. You know, and Peter, you showed me almost horizontal. I wouldn't say that, but I don't know what's right. But anyway, so I would say it's a side back cast, if you like. So we're coming from the side, but we're inclining, constantly inclining, lifting. Now we're turning. And we're not trying to turn in that vertical plane like I'm drawing a circle on a wall. I'm turning into my body as well. But it is still climbing while I'm turning into my body. It is still climbing at all stages. So it's climbing on a straight line, and now it is still climbing and circling in towards my body, and I do not stop. I'm straight over the top in, you know, hand-eye. I don't have to teach people hand-eye finish. But while this is climbing and turning in towards my body, I can always feel the tension of the thing. So I carry those split shot in my bag that you can pinch there, that come from Gillies actually. You can pinch the back of them and clip them on in front of the yarn. And I don't show anyone. I show people the tip path with the rod wrapped with the line, so that they can see it really slow motion how it works. But then I go and clip the split shot on. To me, and Matt Howell and I did a thing throwing weight last year at the Conclave. It makes an enormous difference to the student. It's just a dumb idea I had. I put my keys on the ground and I put a metre of string, and I said, this is not the way to throw weight. If I throw straight line path and stop, those keys will probably smack into my knuckles here on the way back, and if they miss my knuckles, when they hit the end, there'll be a jerk, and you can't throw those keys any distance like that. But if you hold the keys and do that, you can throw them 30 metres. Like that's to me the feeling. And people straight away get the analogy. I don't need to take my keys in the string. They get it, you know. We did it in Malaysia, and I don't know if there's a YouTube thing of that, but I challenged Matt Howell to a distance casting competition. I had a rod in my hand. I said, I'm going to challenge Matt to a distance casting competition, $10. He thought we were going to use the rod. I had it in my head already. We're going to use the keys and the string. So Matt came out, and I said, first go, straight line path, stop, straight line path as far as you could chuck it. And it might have gone, they may have gone from here to the brick wall. And you were worried about your knuckles. As soon as you looked at the situation, you thought, oh dear. And I made him go first. But I couldn't throw him any further. And then I said, what about this? And it went 4 times further. You know, we had to get some boy to go and run and get him. And that to me, if you tell them the story about that, or a skier getting flung around a corner on a ski boat, the ski boat doesn't go that way and stop, and the guy goes, you'd rip his arms out of the socket, you turn him around and go in a new direction. So, 1, it's about tip path. 2, for me, I tell them to keep going, do not stop, just keep going. I don't explain the difference of acceleration, but especially on a long line, I can see you really need to, really. And I tell them that if you were to stop at any stage, the unroll would be up in the air, and if I've got yarn on, I just stop so they can see it pops up rather than pops down. And I do think it's better to do it with weight. You know, like Carlos says, you know, it's real life. Matt Howell will tell you, just do it with some weight. And we started over here last year at the Conclave throwing weight. We started by putting 1 split shot on everyone's thing, then we put 2, then we put 3, and then we put 4. And I tell you, that was one of the best classes I've ever done, because when we were up to 9 split shot, which was about this long, they had to just start circling the stuff, and it makes a difference. But then interestingly, I said to Matt Howell, this 9 split shot, we're limited in length. So we asked what one of the limitations is. I don't know, string a split shot like this on a 5 weight, maybe 50 feet or something like that maximum, because of the dwell and the size of the circle. And I said to Matt, I'll show you how to cast 100 feet with it, mate. Using this flip, like you said in the boat, you're happy to flip it over the top. I can't believe how that 180 casting or 170 casting throws weight so well. You actually do not feel a corner, whereas you slam it back like this and it goes pear-shaped. But yeah, I could put a car key on and flip it over like that at 90 feet, I reckon, on a 5 weight.
And it clears your head by 10 feet.
Yeah, it does.
Astonishing.
And I know that loop is very wide and it morphs back to a straight line. I know that, but it doesn't kick like a hairpin bend morphing back to, you know, extending into a straight line. It's totally different. So I think constant tension casting, and I think that 170 degree stuff, I think you could probably call constant tension casting. It's not oval casting, but it's different. I think it's much better for fishing situations.
That's conventional casting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Casting surf rod with a 3-ounce ball.
It is, and it's exactly casting a surf rod with it. In Malaysia, Matt Howell and I did a test, a master test. It was clear that he wasn't ready, but we had plenty of time, so we went through the whole test. So when it came to talking about Belgian casts and casting with weight, he didn't know it, but I had in my pocket a fish hook, a bait hook that I'd picked up on the track, and a sinker. So people went bait fishing at the pond. So the bait hook though was actually very heavy. It was, you know, it was a hook about this long. It was like a piece of coat hanger wire. There's a lot of weight in it. So the guy's telling me a Belgian cast, you know, you have to circle it around. I said, okay, show me, and I've got this thing out. He said, oh, right. He wasn't expecting someone to tie weight on. So I tied it on, and he did a half job of it. And Matt knew that I had the big star sinker in my pocket, and it was like a star sinker, small star sinker. And I said, here, put this on. Do you think you could cast this? And he looked at it. Oh, shit, no. No, you can't cast that. I said, why not? No, it's just too heavy for the fly rod. It's too heavy. And I thought, you better not tell Matt how you can't cast it, because he can. And I know you can. Anyway, Matt chucked it from here to the window, and no risk of breaking the rod, because it was literally surf rod, Paul. It was, whoa. But if you tried to do this, you would break your rod. And this guy just didn't get it. He'd never cast weight, Peter.
I've got a mate who fishes like 90 to 100 feet deep for kingfish, and he ties his flies at jig heads.
Yeah.
And he just goes.
Yeah. And I think for you Masters candidates, it's imperative that you go and get some different size sinkers and tie them on, or numbers of keys. You know, can you cast 1 key? Can you cast 2 or 3 keys tied together? I think it's imperative that you do that. Don't just read it and canned answer them.
Have you got those little lock-ons?
Yeah, I'll get them later. We'll do that. I think we should do that. We should, we'll get some proper weight, Peter. Like,